What makes a fraud analyst job extremely difficult today is both the quality and the quantity. What I mean by that is the quality of these forgeries, these fraudulent checks has continued to go up because of the adoption of new technologies like AI, machine learning, washing, you name it, they use it. Fraudsters are the first ones to adopt these new technologies. So the quality of these checks, fraudulent checks, has really gone up, which makes it extremely difficult for the fraud analyst to look at a check and see if it is a fraudulent check or is it truly driven by a customer. So that's on the quality side. On the quantity side, again, the number of checks that are being processed by banks, even though we have seen a small decline in the last few years, the number of fraudulent checks has continued to go up, which means the amount of time that they have to spend on each of these checks continues to go up, which makes it a double-edged sword because they have to both look at a lot of checks as well as from a complexity perspective, they're spending a lot of time triaging these checks, which makes it extremely hard for fraud analysts to get to the more complex ones and spend more time on those. So it really brings the efficiency down for the fraud analyst while making their day-to-day extremely complex in getting to the right fraudulent checks and spend more time on them. Manual processes that the fraud analysts have to go through to get to the right checks that they need to spend a majority of their time on is hugely inefficient, which is why Abrigo fraud detection gives them the superpowers in terms of a customer experience where they can get to the right areas of the check. For example, with our partnership with Mitek, we look at the check 24 different ways, right? Where we can surface up, here's the 5 different things that you need to look at. Maybe it's the color of the pixel, maybe it is the shadow, maybe it is the boundaries. So there's different ways where we can look at a check in a machine learning AI driven fashion where we can float up the really important areas that they need to spend their time on.